Hey guys, Camfrey15, joined by my co-host, the Red Wolf, and we are back talking SAO, or aka Sword Art Online, for first time in quite a long time.
Yeah, well, yeah. When did the last movie come out again? The
I think 2021, 2 years ago,
Sheesh.
and we're still waiting on hopefully a season 4
Mm-hmm.
to continue what the anime is doing. But right now, we're just in the form of getting SAO progressive movies, which
Yeah,
I'm not mad at.
indeed. I love it. So far, I love them both.
Yes. Now I honestly prefer the first movie compared to this movie, but I still like this movie. I still think this movie is really good. Um, but
Mm,
go
I,
ahead.
don't- I honestly, it's hard for me to say which one I like better. I don't know. They're both a tie for me. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard for me to choose. Like, I like this movie. Like, oh, but I love you too.
I can understand.
Mm,
Now this movie did skip over a few volumes from the SAO progressive volumes. They didn't cover floors 2, 3, and 4. They skipped those and they covered up to floor 5.
mm.
Now, that's kind of the only downside with the fact that if you're going to be doing these SAO progressive content, and especially in the form of movies, well, you can't do a movie for each floor because, well, Jesus, I don't know how long the SAO progressive light novels are, but my God, um, that would probably be a lot of movies.
Mm-hmm.
Movies that I would say far outlast what the voice actors, not only for the sub version, but even the dub version.
Honestly, I'm having my doubts that there's going to be a third movie. I don't think there's going to be a third movie. I'll be honest.
I think there's gonna be a third movie. These movies, why would you not say that?
I mean, for one, let's talk about it later because if you recall, we didn't see an after credit scene, and
Just because you
mm,
don't get an after credit scene doesn't mean there's a third movie.
mm, because remember in the previous movie, in the previous movie,
Yeah, I know.
it-
But really, that's the same thing we can say with regular movies. Some movies don't give after credits.
I guess.
For example, Black Panther 2 didn't give an after credits scene. They gave a post credit scene, but they didn't give an after credits. But we know there's gonna be a Black Panther 3 coming down the road.
Mhm.
Yeah, listen, before we talk spoilers, non-spoilers thoughts. I liked the movie. I enjoyed the movie. Um, Again, this movie covers, I guess, the light novel events of volume of floor 5, so I don't know what volume it is. I don't read the SAO progressive light novels. One, I don't have the time, and then two, I don't know if I want to waste my money to go read pretty much a novel, but if I want to, I could, you know. It'd be a good read probably. But this continues on with what we got from the first movie. This movie, even though it still takes Asana's perspective, it is a little bit more of a joint combined movie with Asuna and Kirito. Along the fact that we do get some other characters that aren't as prominent in the anime. For example, Argo.
Mhm.
Um, if you ask me who was like the third main character in this movie, it was probably Argo. She gets, like, in terms of animated content in the SAO series as a whole, this is probably like the most she's ever been featured, probably outside the video games.
Mhm. And I guess if you were to count a fourth one, it would be Mito.
Yeah. Um and everything. Um I thought the main plot was, I would say, decent for what it was. It's fine. It moves the story across. I didn't think it was as deep as, say, the first movie, obviously because that was the start of SAO and everything. And to me, it felt kind of generic, but at the same time, I understand the point it got across. It had some good tones in terms of, like, trust and everything, and not wanting to betray. But again, we'll go into spoilers about that in our spoiler review. But I thought the story was fine. How about for you?
I thought so too. I was honestly, I was really looking forward to like the build up to the certain point, that
Hmm.
I'm gonna say later, like the rise of a certain thing of a certain group.
Yeah. The animation for this SAO movie continue. It was a great again animation movie. Animation looked on point. Um, what is it? As I'm moving, I'm getting the cast for SAO. Um, not Aria of a Starless Night. Freaking Scares of a Deep Night. Um, what is it? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of anybody else. Visuals were good. Music was good. I enjoyed the music in this. There was like the obviously you have your typical one, the most iconic SAO song you can probably think of, but the
Yes.
music was great in this. The music was great. I just enjoyed this movie like a lot. Now we ended up watching the English dub version. We didn't see the sub version. But the English dub version was was really good. I watched SAO in the English dub, and I just enjoy listening to the dub characters like a lot. They knocked it out of the freaking park.
Yeah, I'd say Bryce as Kirito, he actually improved since when like SAO like was first announced. Like as time went by, like before it took me some time to get used to when first SAO first started, but now I can clearly like hear like how intense his screams are, his mhm.
Yeah, Bryce Papenbrook, he killed it. Shamile again as the main lead, killed it as well. I just love Shamile as Asuna. She is the voice of Asuna to me. She's the voice of other characters like Lucy Hartfilia and everything, but every time I hear her voice in any property, I always just it just brings a smile to my face. I just like hearing her voice. I know
Same.
you're like her biggest fan or something like that.
She's yeah, she's one of my idols along with Bryce.
So if she's watching this, well, I hope she understands the fact that we do love her job. As all the characters, not only just Austin, all the characters she voice acts. Um, and I hopefully whenever we get more Fairy Tale 100-Year Quest and we get an English dub, I hope to hear her again as Lucy.
Oh,
Because
fired up.
because my goodness, I just want to hear her Lucy Hartfilia again with what I see and read in 100-Year Quest. But she killed it as Asuna. Anaris Quinones as Mito. She was phenomenal again in this movie. I enjoyed her performance. With the screen time we got her there. And obviously we talked about Argo, Kimberly Ann Campbell, who voices Argo. I thought she was good. When we were watching the movie, it's like, wait, her voice sounds familiar. And I realized I'm like, wait, she's Nagatoro as well. Which it's funny because my co-host just got done watching season 1 of Nagatoro.
Yes, and he pointed that out to me during the movie that that's the voice of Nagatoro. Like, no way.
Yep, pretty much. So yeah, it's pretty crazy to hear. But all the English dub voice actors did a great job in their roles. I could go down the list. Patrick Seitz as Agil, he did pretty good for what the heck he was in and everything, but solid performances by all of them. Kagi as Joe. Oh man, that
Oh no. Well, yeah,
oh
we'll talk about his character later on.
oh my goodness, yeah. It's always good to hear Kagi's voice too.
Honestly, I didn't expect him to play a role in SAO.
Well, that's it. Any other, things you want to say about the cast before we go to the spoiler section?
Let's move it on, man. Let's move it on.
Yeah. But as we end this off, if you're wondering, should you go see this movie? Yes, definitely go see this movie. If you're an SAO fan, definitely go see this movie. Go support this movie. So eventually it gets a third movie. Again, I believe SAO is big enough. It's gonna get a third movie. We're gonna get a third SAO progressive movie. Again, I can see why people would say they would have issues with the fact, well, they're always skipping stuff, but it's kind of hard. And then plus, they got to look at like the novels and like say, okay, what's probably like the best like volume novel we could use for a movie. Um, Especially we can tell within like an hour and 45 minutes because again, it's a movie. It's not like an anime series where you can actually probably go further in depth, unlike a movie. You have a limited time, but that's kind of the thing there. But definitely go see this movie. Go give it the support. It's still out in theaters, so make sure you catch it in theaters before eventually it goes away because with these anime movies, they stay in theaters for some time and then they go away after like 3-4 weeks.
Mhm.
So definitely go see it. Again, you can see it either subbed or dubbed. Um, I only watch the dub. I rarely watch the sub unless like the sub content comes out first. Like for example, the last bit of Alicization, War of the Underworld. I had to watch the sub, but I still have to go back and rewatch the dub for that too. But that's
Me
kind
too.
of the thing there. But anyways, that's it for a non-spoiler review. I'm gonna give you guys a spoiler warning, and we'll be back for a spoilers discussion. So, see you then, guys. All right, we're back for a spoilers discussion of Sword Art Online Scherzo of hold on, I got it. Scherzo of a Deep Night. So the first movie is called Aria of a Starless Night. Now this movie is called Scherzo of a Deep Night. I wonder if whenever we get the third one, what it will be called. Full Night.
Um, I think you got me thinking now.
I don't know what they're gonna call it. The last two themes had something to do with night, so you would have to think that their movie has to do something with the night. But yes, this movie was great. This movie was great from start to finish. I enjoyed it. One of the many factors I enjoyed this movie from, and I know we didn't really talk about it in the non-spoiler section. We only gave like tiny bits of hints, but again, this was an Asuna and Kirito movie. Yes, Asuna, even though she does take more of a stage in terms of main character like follow role, in terms of certain scenes and things like that, it was still a good co co-op movie between the two. And for two characters in the franchise that are practically the most popular characters in the series, Asuna and Kirito, I definitely did like it. This movie gave us a bunch of Asuna x Kirito moments, like a bunch of them.
Yes, I can't help but feel warm inside whenever they whenever they're together.
Now, they didn't kiss or anything in this movie. One, because I guess in their case it would be too early to have their little relationship develop, but the relationship in terms of a romance is developing.
Yes, slowly but surely.
So, there's like bits and hints and pieces. I think there's like a callback to one of the anime moments where Asuna hugs Kirito, um, which was at the end of the film after they defeated the boss and they let the whole one guild just go past and everything. Which speaking about the story, practically layman terms of story again. They I believe they said 2 months had passed since the start of SAO. Um, and again, like I mentioned in our non-spoiler review, they're on floor 5 now, and they were working within like these two with this one big group that has these two guilds working together. Practically, the story is this: Asuna and Kirito end up having to make like pretty much a small little mini party to defeat this boss on the 5th floor to get this item, this flag item, to prevent these two guilds from practically having some sort of fallout.
And it's a little too soon to talk about that, dude. Right now, that doesn't happen till later.
Well, yeah,
Right
but we're
now,
we're we're full spoilers. We can talk about whatever we want to talk about.
yeah, but a little too soon now.
Uh-uh. I'm fine with going through each story point, but honestly, I'd just rather just list the stories, the spoiler points and things like
Yeah,
that.
so
Spoil the review for a reason.
I just making sure you actually like remember most of the details this time, like unlike the ordinal skill review that we did before.
I know. I was trying to do that off memory. Same thing here, but it's kind of the thing. But yeah, that's kind of the basic premise of the movie, really. And that's what we said in our non-spoiler review. It's kind of like this whole keeping the trust because we know in the anime series, well, there's a lot of betrayals and things like that there, and sneaky tactics.
Yes.
Which this movie does develop. That obviously it also gets to start with a laughing coughing guild, which I will say to the movie's trailer credit, they did swerve us.
Wait. Did you just say laughing coughing?
What is it called again?
Laughing coffin, my dude.
Laughing coffin. My bad. I was close. You always have to nitpick me, bro. When it comes to your favorite property.
I'm just trying to help you, my dude. I'm just trying to help you.
Moving on. Yeah, they did swerve us. I thought this movie was gonna be about laughing coffin. But to be honest, it really wasn't.
Well, it's built it's like it's the start of like it shows like it's gonna, you know,
Yeah. Now,
the
could
very
the third
beginning.
movie potentially be about laughing coffin? Maybe.
Maybe. Or if not, they'll get more involved.
Yeah. Yeah, we start the movie off just, the two obviously this coalition just working together to take down these bosses and things like that. Simple stuff. There's like this dinner scene with Argo and Kirito. You get some banter back and forth. I did like the moment where Kirito makes a mention like he's a solo player, but then Austin is like, dude, do you know who you've been working with the past 2 months? Let's get something straight. You haven't been no solo player. I've been by your side.
And
So
there's also that one moment when Kirito turned to Argo like, Argo, tell her something. And Argo like, I don't get involved with lovers' quarrels.
yeah, these these two have these really great shipping moments, man, in this movie. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, that's kind of the thing there. It gets to the scene after they eat like this dessert that unlocks like a special like ability for them, and it's to see these. I forgot what they called it in the film. It's like these like coins or treasures or whatever.
Mm, let's just call them coins, I guess.
Yeah, this treasure which they could see, and pretty much it's kind of like a real world. It's kind of like like obviously your typical RPG game where it's like, oh, you see this other item alongside the main story. Sometimes in an RPG sense, you get so infatuated with wanting to collect more and more and more because, reward wise, you could probably sell it off and get a butt ton of money that you could use to spend on like gear and things like that. Which was funny because you have it to where Asuna literally gets like, I would say like, I wouldn't say possessed, but she gets invested in this.
To the point she actually started. She actually has a whole pile of treasures and stuff.
Yeah, which it leads to a funny scene where Kirito, I think, in a back way said, "Well, you didn't have to do all this and everything," or he makes some sort of backhanded comment saying like, "Well, there's another way," and then she's like, "Are you serious?" And then she hits him. for that.
Immortal objects.
Yeah. So then he also scares her too. Just about these ghouls and these ghosts and everything, and
Yeah, let's and here if you're an Asuna fan like I am, you would know that she has a phobia of ghosts.
to be honest, I actually forgot about that. Now, mind you, it's been a while since I've seen SAO. Like I watch anything SAO anime related. It's been
Well,
years.
anyways, yeah, she has a phobia of ghosts, guys, and here we is portrayed really well that she's scared of ghosts. Because the more Kirito keeps talking about this whole astral type monster that lurks in that one area, she just tried to shut him up.
Yep. Um, yeah, they go down there. They end up running into a ghoul. Asuna gets scared. She falls in this like dungeon like trap area, so she's all by herself, split away from Kirito.
Mhm.
On
Along with the fact she dropped her rapier, and guess what took her rapier afterwards? A sly shroomman, which apparently likes to take treasures from other people and run away with them.
it's like how about this? It's a good comparison. It's like that freaking ancient in Sonic Frontiers on the second island where if you have a Chaos Emerald, it freaking comes over top of you and takes the Chaos Emeralds away from you. And you have
Yes.
to go kill it to get your Chaos Emerald back. Um,
Hmm.
which it was a funny scene of her doing like all these things to get the her try to get her sword back, but time and time again, it wasn't the rat that had the sword. Um,
Hmm.
but she managed to kill one of them, and it drops this paper, which
It shows like a date of a meeting of some sort.
now when I saw that, I'm like, okay, I know laughing coffin is supposed to be some sort of big element. I'm like, is she gonna see like the initial meeting of laughing coffin and how they're gonna say, oh, we're gonna be PKs, we're gonna kill these guys, and we're gonna do everything. And I'm like, ooh, this could be interesting. How does she get out of this situation?
Yeah, this is where she starts hiding, and then two individuals start walking in
I will
hoods.
say this. I was a little bit disappointed. I thought it would be like a whole group of people, but the fact when I saw it was only just two people, I'm like, that's it?
Well,
Okay.
it's
I'm
just the
not
build.
mad, but I'm a little disappointed.
It's just the build up, I guess.
Yeah. But go ahead.
Yeah. You see here, Asuna is hiding. These two guys are talking about like the next boss raid that the assault team like the two groups of guilds are gonna be taking on. And yeah, and how they're gonna have them get them how are they gonna have them get them killed or something like that?
Yeah, pretty much make them fall for a trap.
Hmm.
Which is typically what Laughing Coffin typically does. Now,
Hmm.
I don't read the light novels of the original SAO slash progressive and even the manga, I guess. But we know Laughing Coffin is a devious guild that they're a bunch of PKs.
Hmm.
So yeah. Now we get a little bit of a twist where they initially hear Asuna and they're like, wait, what the hell's that? But it's actually this Asuna comes up with the same trick she was doing to lure out the rats, and the one rat comes in. But of course, the one rat they kill is the one with her rapier. Um, which I was like, oh,
Oh no.
um,
Yeah. And that's when Kirito walks in. He walks in and confronts them, and he asked them about that rapier, and they said they got it from a monster drop. And Kirito was not buying that. He assumed that they killed Asuna.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
just
then
to get the
As,
rapier.
go ahead.
Yeah. And while they're talking or about to clash with each other, Asuna came up with a plan. She threw something down, and I believe it was the rat that came in before Asuna screams or something. Or
No, I think she threw something to distract. I forgot.
yeah, I think she threw something which made the red come in, and I think that was the moment when she screamed and then suddenly came running out, ma ma making them drop her rapier, and then she grabbed it, and then
Yep.
she ended up killing the Slice Roman.
Yeah. And then there was, I guess, this monster horde that would have came in and would have killed everybody.
But
Kirito and
be,
Asuna, they ducked somewhere.
but
They'll,
before be, but before that, Asuna was about to take them both on.
oh yeah,
Asuna was, and but then then Kirito like grabs Asuna and then ducks, and then
yeah,
I think Coffin hears the horde, and then they ran away. Like you said.
yep. You then you get this nice heartfelt moment. This nice, well, another shipping moment between the two. You know, he hugs on to her because she was all afraid and everything. Nice Kirito Asuna moment right then and there.
Yeah.
Um, which goes to show that these two definitely do care for each other, which they do make references in this movie, like, oh, I think you guys care for each other more than just partners, which they keep in, which was the one thing they kept insinuating in this movie, like, oh, we're partners. And I'm like, no, you're not partners. You're boyfriend and girlfriend.
Too soon, man. You don't see her in her KOB outfit yet.
So yeah, you get a scene, you then get a bath scene, which I called it before the movie even started. My boy
Yes,
over here,
yes,
he's so
yes,
like,
yes, yes.
there's no way we're getting a bath scene like we saw in the first movie. I'm like, no, we will be getting a bath scene. Maybe not.
Honestly, honestly, I'm wrong for that because I've seen images of Asuna and Argo in their swimsuits
There's nothing wrong with that.
way before the movie ever came out. So why didn't I get that through my skull that of course there's going to be a bath scene? Why didn't I think?
It's
Why didn't,
SAO, bro. You should always know that there's gonna be some sort of bath scene, which will somewhat highlight girl, I guess, these chicks' nudity because SEO's got to have the spiciest scenes ever.
mm, to an
Like,
extent.
how about not instead? How about this? Not spicy, raunchy scenes.
I am not familiar with that word.
It's another word for like you got to try to show as much nudity as you can try to show it in a PG sense.
It's kind of hot. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah, you get a nice scene between Argo and Asuna. They have like a nice play friendly fight, which they're kind of like fighting with bamboo sticks or whatever, but
Yet they're showing off their skills really well.
yeah, it ended in a tie. Because it was like, oh, whoever's bristle touches first, that would be deemed the winner. There was times where I thought Argo would actually get Asuna, but Asuna actually tricked her, but then Argo would trick Asuna, and it kind of ended in a draw.
Hmm.
Which hey, it was a nice scene. And again, there's so much about Argo I want to say in this movie, but she was like MVP of this film, bro. To be honest, honestly, next to Asuna and Kirito, she was an MVP in this movie.
Let's not forget Mito, what she did later on.
That is true. I did like what Mito gave, but honestly, I valued more what Argo did in this film more than Mito.
Hmm. Yeah, and this whole fight was really about like a how like a how Argo shows Asuna that she can actually handle herself. Like,
That's right. That's right. Because um they did tell Argo about the whole two guild the about the members they saw in the dungeon area. Um, and Argo, we know, is an info broker of SAO. And obviously, sometimes she has to do very dangerous things to get her info about the game. And Asuna was worried, like, well, you're doing this on your own and everything. But, Argo's like, it's okay. I've been doing this for a while. I know what I have to do to stay alive and everything. I'll be fine. But Asuna was obviously worried because, again, I don't blame her. It's a death game. You die, well, you're dead. Um, but it was kind of a fight to show Asuna that no, Argo can protect herself when necessary, and everything. Now, this is when we kind of get led into the main plot. The two guilds are gonna like celebrate this New Year's party because during the time of this movie, it's taking place during the New Year, which coincidentally enough, we just got into the New Year. We're only 2 months into the New Year. Um, and everything. But obviously, the main point is in this whole discussion, they got Kirito and Asuna overheard. It got brought up about this idea of like the one guild was going to go ahead without telling the other guild that they were going to go take on the boss, which led into this whole flag thing. Now, the reason why this flag is so important is practically it's like a boost enhancement type of flag. Practically, the person who lets this flag out and stands there, it boosts practically, I guess, the stats of everybody within their guild, and it would
Hmm.
actually get them stronger. And with Kieran and Austin pretty much finding this out, they're like, well, if one of these guilds gets these flags, it's going to create chaos because, well, then that person, the guild leader, is just going to use the flag. Their guild is going to get stronger while the other guild is just going to be probably getting their asses handed to them. And then that's going to result in people from the other guild leaving that guild to go to the other guild. And it would just create a whole bunch of chaos because, well, at the end of the day, everybody should be working together to escape SAO all and hopefully all alive. Um, and that was the whole thing. They don't want to create this friction between these two guilds. And we see earlier in the movie, the two guild leaders, they were kind of beefing a bit with each other. After the one boss they fought at the start of the movie. We saw that there was like beef between the two, so they're not cool with each other. And we see how the one guild leader, he is like, yeah, I'm gonna go regardless. It doesn't matter what you do. Now we do have it to where we have this one member from the other guild and this other chick from the same guild this guy is in. And they convince him enough to say, hey, let us take care of this first. But if we fail, if you get there, then it's obviously you can do whatever you want. Um, but I do like the fact that even one of their own guild members was like, no, this isn't right, guild master. We probably should be working together on this. And keep, working together. Now I think she said that because she likes her boy who's from the other guild, which we saw by the end of the movie. No, they were more than just friends.
Yes.
They
Yes,
were
indeed.
a couple.
Hmm. And they're not afraid to show it.
Oh no, no, no. But the guild guy's like, all right, fine. We're gonna be here at this time. If you're not beating the boss by then, well, we'll just come in and we'll do what we need to do to take the flag. And now practically your story point right then and there. That's why I said, the story is fine for what it is, but it really doesn't move me. But I get it's good enough for a movie plot.
Hmm.
Um, Compared to say another storyline in a movie plot that might be a little bit more diverse, that you might need more time to develop the story, which again, it's fun with me. You have it to where Kirito and Asuna, they pretty much put a ragtag group together to go up against this boss on the fifth floor. So obviously they get Argo, um what is it? They get the two people, the two members from the two guilds, the one chick and then the one dude from the other guild. Um I'll just say the blue guild and the girl from the green guild. I forgot what their guilds names were called. And then you have Austin like, well, they request Agil, my boy Agil. Yes, Black Brothers for life.
It's the boy,
Agil and his two boys to come help in, and then obviously Asuna. Who does she go to try to request?
Mito, the one. She's somewhere in the shadows attacking monsters.
Yeah, we kind of find out Mito. She's kind of like, I guess you can say what we saw what what's her face did, the pink haired chick. Liz did. She was trying to become like a seller for like this gear and this medicine and stuff like that. Because in a way she kind of just wanted she still has that burden of guilt for leaving Asuna back in the first movie, pretty much leaving her to die. And then also at the same time, somewhat doing it in the final boss battle and everything. Now, we'll get back to our point about the Mito fight with Asuna because we're run out of time, sadly. Damn Zoom. But
Sheesh.
we'll be back real quick, guys.
Are we starting? Might take me
Yeah,
because
we're
I'm.
starting.
Oh, wait, or are we starting?
Yeah. Sorry, we were talking about Dragon Ball GT on the side. I know that series sucks. Anyways,
So we're not
SAO.
talking about Dragon Ball GT. Anyways,
SAO. Asuna goes to meet up with Mito, who, like you mentioned earlier, she's kind of like being a person that sells things. She's not much of an adventurer like she used to be. Again, because she still struggles from what happened from the first movie, because she feels like, oh, she just will abandon somebody to die. But Asuna still believes like, no, we're still friends regardless, and I know you don't mean that, which it leads to a fight where Asuna asks like Mito, hey, we're doing this thing where we're assigning this team against this boss. Could you please come join us? Um and Mito's like, I'm not much of an adventurer anymore, Asuna, so I'm sorry. Um but the whole thing is if Asuna wins this duel, it shows to Mito that Asuna doesn't have to rely on her as much like she used to. And they have a fight. They are not a fight, a duel.
hmm
Your thoughts
cool
on the
fight scene. Cool fight scene. Cool layout. Cool movement. You know.
Yeah. Um Sadly, Asuna takes the L, because Asuna shatter or Mito shatters like her necklace or whatever. But then Mito's like, I'm sorry, but I can't go with you. But the thing is, Mito gives Asuna this new necklace, which has like, if she wears it, it gives her an enhancement, a buff to like resistance of poisons and things like that, which we'll talk about the final scene. Um, so it's the day of the boss that they're going to do. The whole team is together. Oh, actually, before that, Mito and Kirito actually have a little bit of discussion. Mito's like, "Oh, it's you from the boss raid," because she saw what Kirito looks like from the first movie. Um, and he goes in to say, he's like, I was just watching over Asuna to make sure she was okay and everything. I felt like Mito got a little bit jealous here.
Yeah, cause after Kirito goes on to say like at the pace Asuna is going, she might become one of the top players in the game and stuff, and that Asuna will probably will want the support of all her friends and stuff.
Yeah, it
And
was a go ahead.
yes, and Mito ends the conversation by saying, "You know what? I think I hate you."
Man, I can only imagine if the next movie will cover the parts when they're actually like dating and Mito sees this. She's really gonna be jealous. She's gonna be like, wait, you got a boyfriend now? Oh yeah, I didn't tell you about that. I can see Mito being overprotective where she's gonna be bossing up to Kirito. You're like, you better be protecting my friend. Otherwise, I will kill you myself if she dies.
Kirito be like,
I definitely could see that scene happening. Yeah, that's kind of the thing, but in a way, Kirito's talk inspires Mito to show up, obviously in the nick of time in the boss battle. We get to the boss battle, they show up. Now, Kirito and Argo are gonna go first because, well, we were beta testers. We know what the boss of the fifth floor could be. But when they get up there, well, they realize it's very different as opposed to the beta test, which it was a beta test for a reason. It's not like they're going to change things out, right? So, how does this boss operate?
apparently there's some lines on the floor. If you step on them, a trap will go off, which the trap turns out to be like limbs and parts of the boss's body.
Yep.
You step in one, in comes a fist. You step on another, in comes another fist or a foot or whatever.
Yep. And what was the target? Now in this boss, there's like this red target spot where they have to hit the boss, and it will and that's how they can inflict damage on it. And everything. It takes Kirito and Argo, um, a bit of time to understand the boss's tactics, but they clearly can tell. Which I do like the fact in this boss battle they changed their expectations for what they thought the boss was, and it makes them a little bit more unprepared. It makes them go into a situation where like, okay, these characters could potentially die here. Now we know if you read the books or we watch the anime, we know that none of these characters die, because they're important characters, but it was nice at building up the stakes because I was actually at the edges of my seat, like, oh shit, they actually might not. I was afraid. I thought Argo was gonna die.
I honestly knew Argo was gonna live. I honestly knew Argo was gonna. Who I was worried about was Mito.
Yes, our prediction with Mito potentially facing a demise has not happened yet.
Hmm.
I'm still predicting at some point she is going to die.
Yeah, so am I.
It only makes sense for her character to do it. And I feel like the way she dies, if she dies in the next movie or if they do a fourth movie, um, I feel like she's gonna die sacrificing her life for Asuna to live.
Would they make that many movies though? That's what I'm worried about. I don't know if they would bring those out to make that many movies to cover the whole SAO thing.
It's Sword Art Online. It's one of the biggest series in Japan. I think they would make consistent movies.
Hmm. I cross my fingers on it.
So Dragon Ball's gonna continue to make movies.
I mean, yeah, it's even bigger than SAO. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but still, Dragon Ball's got like freaking 15, 16 movies.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Look at One Piece. They got freaking 17 movies, or I think 17 or 18 movies. Pokemon is not as big as One Piece or freaking I would say Pokemon, it's not on the same level as Sword Art Online, but I guess in terms of demographics, you can say that. They have freaking 22, no, they have 23 movies.
Sheesh.
So I think SAO is a big enough property where they can do more than just 3 movies and say, we're done.
Hmm.
But my prediction on Mito dying, I still think that's going to happen in one of these SAO progressive movies. It just makes sense with her character having this regret for not being there for Asuna when she almost died in the first movie. I feel like it's going to be a nice, perfect send off for her character, for her to sacrifice her life for Asuna because she wants Asuna to live. She doesn't want her friend to die, which, if that scene ever happens, that scene might actually make me cry. Shit.
Hmm.
I might actually you might be getting a grown ass man crying tears for this girl because
Yes.
she didn't want her friend to die. Damn it. If we're in the theater together and you see me bawling my eyes out, please give me a tissue.
I wouldn't blame you on that, man. I would also be using the tissues, man.
Um yeah, I just have this feeling like she's going to die. She didn't die in this movie, which I thought she was going to die in this movie, but no. She has not died yet. So
Mhm.
the death flags for Mito is still going strong. But eventually Asuna's in the other group, they end up coming to the floor, um, and everything. They're working together, they're doing a pretty good job. They're taking down the boss and everything, but then all of a sudden the boss changes tactics because it's a boss. Of course, they're gonna change tactics in a boss battle. It isn't a boss battle if you don't change your same formulas. Um, and then they can't find where the boss is at. They're like, oh shit, we probably might need to get up the hell out of here because we don't know. But
This for one, the lion start moving, the entire golem comes out. and literally grabs Asuna with his jaws, literally crushing her.
Yes. And we see our boy Kirito's freaking out because he
Yeah,
cares
he's
for
he's
Asuna.
he's he's really trying to run for her.
Yeah, Argo composes him like, we got to just find the red dot. If we find the red dot, we can be able to save her. But her life points are like draining fast.
And the red dot is moving like crazy, so it'll be hard to hit.
Yep. But all of a sudden, Mito comes in, and the clutches moment. She manages to hold back the jaws so Asuna doesn't literally get out. Um,
Mhm.
Split in two and then dies. Um, and again, another reason why I said, bro, Argo was clutch, yo. She was clutch in this movie. Also Mito was clutch in this boss battle too, with the fact that she could break her scythe up and actually throw it from long distances. Those two, honestly, if they weren't in this freaking boss battle, Asuna and Kirito probably die.
Yeah,
Because they're the two of them working together was clutch. You get a great team up moment between Asuna, Kirito, and Mito and even Argo working together to take it to deliver the final blow. Um, this boss battle was honestly, I'll say this. I did like this final boss battle compared to the first movie's boss battle. This one was more intense. It had more stakes, I think, because you had a smaller group. And we had a character in need of like saving and everything. But the way this boss battle was executed against the level 5 boss, beautiful.
yes, definitely.
So yeah. The thing is, what happens is they're wondering, okay, who the hell gets who the hell got the flag because they defeated the boss. That was the drop item, and who gets the flag?
It was Mito.
Yes, Mito gets the flag. But Mito's like, well, I really have no use for this flag, so you guys can have it, pretty much. She gives it to Kirito. Um, Asuna and Mito say their goodbyes because they're like, well, I guess we'll catch you guys, we'll catch you around, and things like that. So Mito's still alive for a whole nother movie so
And
far.
now Kirito and Asuna just wait for that one guild to come around with Kibao as their leader, obviously.
Okay, keep out. Thank you for reminding
You,
me.
you forgot his name? No
I
wonder I didn't
forgot
hear you
his
say
name,
it.
dude. I forgot his name, man. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
so bad.
Anyway, yeah, Kibao.
Kill me in the comment section.
Hashtag kill Cameron. Just kidding.
I already
Just kidding.
get killed enough of always getting the constant ask question. When is One Piece season 14 Voyage 3 coming out for the English dub?
No, that's okay. That's not you getting killed. That's them getting killed themselves.
Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. They Kiba walks in with his group, asking them, "So, do you have the item?" And Kirito says, "Yes, I have it right here." And stuff, and they're like talking negotiations stuff. Kirito says, I'm willing to give you this flag on on some conditions. One, you better get along with the other guild and stuff." And I forgot what the other condition is.
I think the other condition was he'll keep the flag, and then give it to them if there's another similar like item drop to this said flag.
Yeah. Hmm. And during this negotiation, there was some dispute among among Kibal's members, including that one guy with the mask.
The one voice acted by Kagi.
No, that's not him. That's not him.
Oh, that wasn't Kagi? I thought
That
that was
wasn't
Kagi.
Kenny. It's someone else.
Okay.
But I believe this. I believe this character. This character's name is called Johnny Black. of a future laughing coffin, I believe.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, he's all like, we should take it by force. Well, they just want to keep it for themselves and like and stuff. And Hibel suddenly grabs him and then pins him to a wall. Like, what kind of man are you and stuff? That's not how our guild operates, all right? And this basically shows that Kibao like agrees to like Kirito's terms, but he's unsure about the other guild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, the movie ends off, or the movie, we're getting to the ending stages of the movie. Now, the funny part is, I was like, okay, what about the guy that he just forced to the ground? I'm like, he just heard all of this. Now, actually, before that, we do get a very great scene. Probably my favorite Kirito Asuna moment, Kirito Asuna moment of this movie was practically when Asuna starts crying, just tears. She's letting out. Kirito's like, "Why are you crying?" And she's like, "Well, you keep having these people call you these names, like obviously beat her and say these despicable things to you because you're a beta tester and everything. You just carry, I can't stand to see you take this burden on, and you just turn around and act as if you don't have any feelings towards this." Practically Austin saying like, it's like you're not even human anymore. It's like you're a robot just taking on all this burden and this blame. And pretty much Austin's like, let me, I'm your partner. And I'm like, no, you're not his partner. You're his girlfriend. Whatever. Um, she's pretty much like, let me share a good burden. Let me share the same burden as you share. You get this next moment. She hugs him, has his face all up in her chest, looking
Yeah,
at her
like
good
yeah,
self.
she says like says no one else will acknowledge you. I will and stuff.
Yes. That's another scene that you'd probably cry for. Don't you
Mm.
love Kirito and Asuna moments right then and there?
You'd be wrong not to.
Again, I hope one day I find my version of Asuna that actually loves you for who I am. Anyways. It was a great moment. I enjoyed that moment. I'm like, by far, probably I think we need to add this to top 10 Kirito Asuna moments of the entire series of SAO we've seen anime.
It's hard to rate them all because my God, all their moments are amazing.
Yeah, I know. So that's kind of the thing there. The ending of the movie covers this like New Year's party and things like that. They celebrate the New Year's. I'm like, kiss, because New Year's, you kiss a girl. Now, I'm not saying go on the street and randomly kiss a girl when it's New Year's and you don't know said girl. You might actually get freaking kicked in the D.
That
Um,
that would be a bold move, but I wouldn't say it would be a wise move.
I don't want to do that. You got to be crazy. You got to. No, I wouldn't even say you wouldn't have to dare me. You couldn't pay me enough to do that. Now, maybe now listen. Everybody's got a price, but shit, I'm not gonna just kiss some random girl that I don't know.
Good grief.
Especially, I'm a black dude. You know what they're gonna do? They'll just call the cops. I'm being real, Denzel. I'm being real.
I have no words.
Anyways, Kirito and Asuna, they have to go down to go get something, and I'm just like, okay, this is gonna be the movie's gonna be end. Then they start walking. They hear this thing, and I'm like, hold on a quick second. What is going on here? And next thing you know, they're walking as they get to the door. They're almost about the door. All I hear this man say, "It's
It's
showtime,"
showtime.
and I'm like, "Son of a bitch, this guy is back!" And then
Prince
you see the
of Hell.
hoodie, you see the scar, you see the hair, and I'm just like, "Fuck!"
It's it's the man. It's Prince of Hell, aka Poe.
Bro, when I saw this scene, I lost my shit in this movie. Now, I didn't show it like crazy. I know he was sitting right next to me. My head was just like, I'm done. I'm done.
Honestly, the moment he appeared, I was waiting for him to say the line, "It's showtime."
You know, to be honest, that part was my favorite part of the movie.
Honestly,
That alone was my favorite part of the movie, which sucks so much because he's in the movie for such a tiny bit of it. Just that tiny scene, man.
oh, so things are about to get lit though in the future. Things are about to get lit.
Oh my goodness. Now, he pretty much makes a threat to Kirito and Asuna. Now, practically, Kirito and Asuna put two and two together. Like, no, it was the guy that after Cabell freaking just told to shut up, spread this information to who we know as Poe, who practically is the leader of Coffin at this point in time.
Hmm.
Um, and he practically threatens Kirito. He's like, listen, you're gonna give me that flag, right? And we're like, and I'm like, oh shit. If he gets that flag, we know the hell that laughing coffin would become, how strong they would be get.
Yeah,
And
he be
go ahead.
threatening him like, "You better give me the flag, or your girlfriend gets it."
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit, this thing's doused in poison, probably if she gets impaled and everything, which is he does bring up. But they make the mention like, but we're in the safe zone. We should not be, you can't attack us. But then dude's like, sir, you're still in the dungeon. Um, but then Asuna get takes a chance and she's like, all right, let's go. Let's do this thing. She moves up and she ends up taking a hit. Well, but she gets protected due to being in the safe area. And eventually that leads to a quick little scuffle, but Poe ends up getting away, saying, I'll deal with you guys later, or and things like that. And he just gets away. He says, this isn't the last you'll see of me, pretty much. Which I guess is I guess would be like your in a way your somewhat post credit scene that could potentially lead to a third movie, which maybe that means their movie get Asuna and Kirito versus Poe. I don't know. I don't read the SAO progressive novels, so I don't know.
I can't really imagine if that they'll it would be like an actual like one like a 2v1 fight against Poe because as you already know they fight him later on in season 3. Of course, I'm sure he'll get some cameos, but I'm pretty sure they'll be fighting someone else from Laughing Coffin because Laughing Coffin actually has multiple members, multiple leaders.
Yeah.
I remember.
Um yeah, no, Kirito, after this scuffle ends, he asks her, like, bro, why'd you do what you did? Are you crazy? You could have got yourself killed. And then Austin's probably like, oh, you didn't need to worry. I have this keychain Mito gave me that protects me from these poisons. And I'm like, oh, I forgot about that shit.
Yeah,
I really did forget about that, to be honest.
I didn't.
Because I was like, oh, this dude's gonna poison her, and it's gonna be crazy types of poison. Then I forgot. I'm like, oh crap, she had the thing. Anyways, they make the mention of the fact that that dude could be a problem in their future, which he is going to be to the point. Let's get something straight too. This guy was so obsessed with Kirito, so bad that he wanted to kill this guy in the real world.
Yes,
He was that salty. See, that's why you got to watch out today, man. You piss somebody off the wrong way, they will look up your information and try to find out where you live. And the next thing you know, they'll be at your front door and they'll be like, hey, how you doing? Boom.
let's get this show on the road.
Which it's absolutely crazy that this virtual game turned. It goes to show that this guy, he really did not have, he really wasn't thinking in the right space. This guy literally, you can not only say this guy was like a mass murderer because he made a death game, but he single-handedly created serial killers.
Mm,
No wonder that guy, if he didn't kill himself, he should have friggin' been in jail for life.
right.
Because that's another thing that every time I go back to SAO and I keep forgetting, I'm like, No, then not only was this guy like a murderer for what he did, killing innocent kids slash adults, he created legitimate serial killers
Hmm.
who, after SAO was done, they literally that's what they became. They became serial killers.
Hmm. Although I have a feeling that that most of those people were already serial killers and decided to just play SAO.
That could be the case.
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense if you think about it.
Um, yeah, that's kind of the thing. Movie ends. The movie end. I did like the movie ending on the fact in the credits they had Asuna in her in the one.
Ye-
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, it started out with her like how she started out with in her like newbie outfit, and then it showed her like slowly like changing into her KOB outfit.
Which could be a foreshadowing to maybe the third movie. Don't know. And
Mhm.
then the episode or the episode. What the hell? I wish we get an episode again. Um, then the last, image which I absolutely loved was the scene where Kirito and Asuna were holding hands after they had beaten SAO. And
Oh yeah.
everything before they ended up getting split up, and then we had to deal with Sugo and everything. But let's ignore the Sugo stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was a great way to end the movie, which it shows like, yeah, this movie was definitely a Kirito Asuna movie.
It makes me wonder but when the last movie comes out for like the whole SAO like saga thing. I just wonder how they're gonna end things. Are they gonna end the same way as they did in the anime? Hmm.
Well, SAO Progressive, I don't know. Maybe the author for SAO, because the author for SAO Progressive is the same exact author that does the original series now. Maybe he changes it to where, guess what, Asuna does get out and the Sugo storyline isn't a thing. Or maybe he changes it to where, no, Sugo played SAO as well, and he knows it's Asuna, and he's tried to claim Asuna, and obviously maybe one of the final bosses battles is
Yo,
Kirito versus Asuna. I don't know.
yo.
He could the author could change up how Progressive goes compared to his original material.
Hmm.
Honestly, if you get to the part, honestly, and the Progressive, I'd have it to where Kirito and Asuna, they both get out of SAO alive. And you don't have to deal with this whole fairy dance arc bullshit I had to deal with. I'm sorry. I don't like that arc, to be honest. I don't blame people for saying it's probably the worst arc in the series. One, stupid Sugo crap, and then Suguha fall in love with her cousin slash brother, whatever you. I like Suguha, man, but that shit would that incest angle was so disgusting.
You can say that again.
Like, come on, man. What was the author thinking? Yeah, let an incest angle started.
We'd be asking the same thing. Like, what was the author? What was the author of Redo of Healer thinking?
Redo Healer is another story, bro.
Yeah, it's one of those WTF animes. Like, what the heck?
WTF anime is My Life as Inukai-san's Dog.
That's another one apparently.
You seen an episode?
No. I've been hearing that. That's another one that people have been saying. There's a WTF anime.
Look, I watched that show, but I really question how the hell they freaking are showing this on TV with the fact that they're pushing the boundaries. I'll tell you off screen about a moment. But look, at the end of the day, SAO Progressive, Scares of a Deep Night was a great movie. I definitely enjoyed my time with it. I do think this is we're gonna get a third SAO Progressive movie. The question is, when will it come out? Will it be 2 years from now again, like this movie was, or maybe 3 years from now? Who knows? Obviously, the movie has to do good, in terms of movie sales, not only here in the West, but as well as I think they did relatively really good in Japan because it's SAO. Obviously, Blu-rays and things come into a factor, especially over there. But SAO is big enough to where I think they're going to get a third SAO progressive movie. You know, yeah, my host made a mention earlier in this review. There wasn't no post-credit scene, but I think honestly, the post-credit scene was the post scene. They just put it in the movie at the tiny bit end. Otherwise, that would have been the post-credit scene right then
Let's
and there.
get the show on the road.
So yeah, that's my final thoughts. Your final thoughts of this movie?
I enjoyed it from beginning to end. That's all I gotta say.
Yes, and we got to get my man over here the DVDs.
Yes, definitely.
So yes. Anyways, guys, we're gonna get out of here. If you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on the second SAO progressive movie, Scherzo of a Deep Night. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. And I can't believe I just rhymed. God dang it. So yeah, but if you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this movie, as well as hit the subscribe button if you want to get more. Well, I can't really say SAO content because there is no SAO content out there.
At least not for a while now.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for season 4 to come out. I want season 4 to come out to see what events take place after Alicization.
Same. Because they did
Come
leave
on,
us.
Aniplex. Give me more SAO anime.
Aniplex.
So I want to see more Xenon, Alice, Asuna, Sugoha, Kirito, Agil.
Klein.
No one cares about Klein.
We all love Klein. Put down in the comments hashtag we love Klein, guys. Please. Show Klein some love.
Maybe Klein will finally get a girlfriend.
Yes.
So, well, yeah. Anyways, we're gonna get out of here. Catch you guys in the next video. Hit that subscribe button not only to my channel but my coach's channel. Leave a link in the description below. Until then, guys, stay safe out there. Have a great rest of your day or never turn this video. Peace.
Peace.